it's important for people to learn from others so you don't have to start at base zero. So I think the Icons of Bharat will be a fantastic program where it showcases successful micro entrepreneurs from Bharat, and they will resonate with extremely large number of people who live in rural areas in Bharat and who are micro entrepreneurs. Every human being is talented and we should not let anybody be behind, and this access, I believe, will help improve India's economy. Of course, India will grow to be a $5 trillion economy. I'm very proud of this program, Icons of Bharat, because I do believe we have to recognize micro entrepreneurs in this country. Micro entrepreneurs are role models, are heroes of our ecosystem, and people who have built up businesses using their intelligence. My name is Mohandas Pai. I'm the chairman of RN Capital Partners, a VC firm in Bangalore, India. Well, entrepreneurship starts as micro entrepreneurs. Everybody starts small and then you grow your business, even if you have more capital. So I think we must focus on the bottom of the pyramid to make sure that anybody who wants to become an entrepreneur will have access to capital, will have access to knowledge, etc. And they will be able to prosper. So showcasing heroes who are micro entrepreneurs to give hope to many others, to enable others to learn from their experiences, hear their stories, I think is a fantastic way of creating an ecosystem where micro entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs can flourish. Well, it's natural to celebrate unicorns. People have gone to $1 billion. It is not easy. There are only 100 of them, maybe 250 by 2025. But we must not lose sight of the fact that almost all of them started very small. Therefore, we must also encourage micro entrepreneurs. It's not neglect of one at the cost of other. We should do both. Micro entrepreneurship is extremely important because it helps create jobs, it helps create a very large base, and some of them will grow up to be unicorns. And unless you have a broad base, you will not be able to create the number of entrepreneurs that India needs. Therefore, I think we have to encourage both. We have to celebrate unicorns, we have to celebrate micro entrepreneurs. They cater to different segments of the population. Each one gives hope to the other. Each one have their own stories, and we must rejoice in the success of both. Well, I don't think it is a cost that they're not able to survive because of competition from large enterprises, because micro entrepreneurs can always make a local market, depend on service. What is actually inhibiting them is the lack of access to capital. Most of them don't have capital. They possibly borrow from their friends and relatives, and they're not able to sustain themselves. Second, many of them don't have access to training or mentorship. These are the two big challenges. So I think we must ask government as part of the development policy to create a large pool of capital where possibly government can give them some kind of equity to the banking system or give them some access to guaranteed loans. For example, post-COVID, we had a guaranteed loan mechanism of 4 lakh crores where MSMEs got guaranteed loans equal to 20 or 50% of the bank borrowing. And I think it's done well because a lot of money went into them and they survived and they created employment. So I think it is a capital issue and a mentorship issue. It's not a lack of competition from large firms. Large firms will compete and they're highly priced. The micro entrepreneurs can cater to the local ecosystem where the pricing can be quite low, and I think it's important for us to understand the causes and work out for solutions. Well, I think the farming issue is a very complex issue, but to my mind, the basic reason why farmers are not doing well is the fact that farmers are not able to access the markets directly. If you're a farmer and you have a surplus, you must go to the mandi to sell. The mandi price fluctuates. You don't know what happens. You could be exploited, and you are exploited unless there's MSP. And if you're a farmer and you got a surplus to sell, you must go to a trader who could exploit you. And the inefficiency of supply chain is not very conducive to you. So, and you will not be able to connect them to market significantly to any other mechanism. My solution for that is to fund agri-tech startups. Agri-tech startups can connect all farmers to markets through an app, whereby they can give information about prices in the market, they can give information about supply chain, the timing the crop has to be cut, how it has to be delivered. And agri-techs can help farmers to do grading and sorting so that at their farm gate, they're able to grade and sort and get higher prices for higher quality produce. So the key issue is a linkage to market, and that can be solved today using technology. I'm very enthusiastic. Today, about 10 to 12,000 crores of farmers' produce monthly is sent to consumers through agri-tech startups. Here is the great solution, and we can train the farmers' children the use of these apps, which is not very difficult because almost everybody has got a phone, a cell phone, and most people have a smartphone, which cost has come down. So I think the solution is inside, and if farmers have to become entrepreneurs, we must connect them to markets, to technology. Now, all farmers naturally take risk when they farm. They understand which crop to grow, they understand quality, they understand what needs to be done, etc. They don't require training as regards input, as regards what crop to grow or to take care of the crops. They're all experts in that. What they lack is access to markets. And today we have a technology solution. Well, Icons of Bharat to me are heroes of Bharat who have become micro-entrepreneurs, who have done very well, who have struggled to achieve the status that they have. They're a role model, inspirational, and they have stories to tell. And their achievements are based on their hard work, their smart work, and the innovation they brought to the table. So hearing their stories will enable many more people to avoid mistakes, to do the right thing, and to grow very fast. It's important for people to learn from others so you don't have to start at base zero. So I think the Icons of Bharat will be a fantastic program where it showcases successful micro-entrepreneurs from Bharat, and they will resonate with extremely large number of people who live in rural areas in Bharat and who are micro-entrepreneurs. And micro-entrepreneurs are extremely important. We need to create more entrepreneurs in this country, and therefore having these role models and heroes is very, very inspirational. Well, I think you must connect them to the system. Today, almost every Indian has access to UPI, so you can transfer money on the phone. You have access to the new e-commerce platform, ONDP, which government is providing along with volunteers from Bangalore. You have access to the e-commerce companies. So if you create access to agri-tech companies, you'll be able to do very well. But to do that, farmers may have some reluctance in using technology. So I think it's important for farmers to educate their children. Now, if you're a young person, 14 to 15 years, 11 to 12 years, you know how to use technology. So I think we should have a large-scale training of farmers' children so that farmers' children can leverage this technology and they can grow up with the right spirit over the next 5 to 10 years, imbibing technology so that they can be the force multiplier for their parents who are farmers. So I think we have a solution, and technology is easy to use. Technology is not complex. Using an app through steps, 3 clicks, 4 clicks to get to what you want, I think is extremely important, can be easily done. Well, we need capital, we need role models, we need inspirational figures, and we need mentorship. So we need a large-scale program, and this program has to be specific to every group of micro-entrepreneurs. Farmers are a set of micro-entrepreneurs, skilled artisans are a set of micro-entrepreneurs, women are a set of micro-entrepreneurs who can make goods in their house. Women who are single producers of goods or services are micro-entrepreneurs. So what we need is a large-scale technology-led educational program that people will see on TV and they will understand the story. We need to have YouTube videos. We need to have it in Doordarshan, on television. And we need to have many NGOs and others to educate people about giving them access to capital. We have the self-help groups which can become partners in this program, so they too can rise above everybody else. And then, like I said, we need to give them access to credit and capital. That's the biggest show. There's not enough access to credit to capital because people believe, the banks believe that it is very risky. But I do believe it is not risky at all if you've done the right way. So the government's program of giving guaranteed loans to MSMEs can be extended to maybe 10 lakh crores. And if government over the next 10 years loses 2 lakh crores, it is fine. The economic development and the benefit the country gets is much, much higher. The only thing that must be done is don't subsidize the interest, because interest is the cost that you have to bear. An entrepreneur needs access to credit, not access to subsidy, because the entrepreneur has to recover the full cost of whatever they're selling. If you give them too much of subsidies and make them dependent upon you, they'll never grow up to be entrepreneurs. So I think we got to design a program. And then mentorship can be done through NGOs, to television programs, to YouTubes, to educating children, to schools, etc., and to encouraging intermediaries like the ONDP platform or possibly the agri-tech companies. I'm told that there are 20 crore homemakers in this country. I'm sure that many of them will not participate. What you have to create a system is, if any homemaker wants to participate in economic activity, they must have access to credit, access to markets, access to mentorship. Because what is holding people back is access to credit, access to capital, because any business requires capital. Any business requires marketing. Any business requires connection to markets. There could be many homemakers who are not inclined to do any kind of business. It's perfectly fine. Everybody doesn't have to do it. But the large resource base which can be utilized to grow the economy and to create streams of income for themselves. Every human being is innovative. Every human being is talented, and we should not let anybody be behind. And this access, I believe, will help improve India's economy. Of course, India will grow to be a $5 trillion economy. The key is, how will this economic growth impact the largest number of people in the country? To do that, we have to invest in micro-entrepreneurship, give equal opportunities to these 20 crore homemakers or others, and everybody who wants to become a micro-entrepreneur and earn their own living. Earning their own living is an aspiration that people should have. And that's the aspiration people in this country have had. Because traditionally, throughout our history, people have been living off their own. They're not been surviving through jobs. Please remember, so we are a very different economy. It's only after the Industrial Revolution that the question of jobs became extremely important. So I think we need to have a movement, and we need to cascade the availability of capital for all people, including the 20 crore homemakers. I'm very proud of this program, Icons of Bharat, because I do believe we have to recognize micro-entrepreneurs in this country. Micro-entrepreneurs are role models, are heroes of our ecosystem, and people who have built up businesses using their intelligence in an economy which is not very conducive to entrepreneurship because of lack of access to capital and mentorship. They have succeeded, they come up by their own intelligence, and I think we should expose them as heroes to everybody so that a lot more people will be inspired. I congratulate people who are having this program, and I think it'll go a long way in creating an ecosystem where micro-entrepreneurship can flourish across India, especially in Bharat.